Hi guys, I'm Saumya and I'm back again with another video. So how are you guys? In today's video, I'll be recommending 10 books to you that are written in easy English. So these books won't send you running for your dictionary every now and then, and they are very easy to understand. Plus, they are good reads. Before moving on, let me tell you a little bit about the sponsor of today's video, Campfire Pro. So if you are a budding author trying to write your debut novel, or you are an author who is trying to write his next book, you know that organizing stories can be hard. But it doesn't have to be with the writing software called Campfire Pro. Campfire Pro comes with tons of tools to keep you organized. Its character pages will help you keep a track of your characters with their details and their backstories. Timelines can help you hammer out all those plot points, and you can also track your character arcs and use map view to create all the locations that you need. You will also definitely want to check out the brand new world building pack. It is an expansion to the Campfire Pro with even more tools to help you build your story's world. It is extremely important for a good story to have a solid world building. So with the massive bundle of features available in the world building pack, you can construct your species, magic systems and items, and along with that you can also create your own cultures with their religions, philosophies and languages. Campfire Pro is a one-time purchase of $49.99, and if you also want the world building pack, it is available for an additional $24.99. Check out the link in the description box to learn more. Thank you Campfire Pro for sponsoring this video. Now let's get started. The first book is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haydon. So this is a story about a 15-year-old boy named Christopher who has Asperger's, which is a form of autism. So Christopher loves maths and he loves lists, but he's not very good with people or human beings. So Christopher's neighbor's dog dies, or rather is murdered. So now Christopher's world is very small and limited, but he decides to set out on this terrifying journey to find out about who murdered the dog. So this is a very interesting story and insight into Christopher's life, the way he sees things. And Christopher is very different from other people, so reading about him is quite an experience. Christopher kind of reminds you of Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory in the way he approaches things. This is a very easy to read, light-hearted sort of a book that you pick up after a long day to unwind, and also Christopher's character and the way the story has been written is different in a good way. The next book is The House with a Thousand Stories by Aruni Kashyap. So the story is taking place in Assam in 2002. So a young man named Pablo who lives in Guwahati visits his ancestral village to attend a wedding. So the main theme of this story is that every household has a lot of rumors and gossips going around, and when it is the time for some ceremony or function or wedding to take place, these gossips often multiply. So the entire vibe of this book is kind of dark and ominous. Right from the start you can feel it, and the mood set by the entire story is something that you're not able to shake off. You are also able to kind of connect with the story, because when it talks about certain relatives in the household in this book, you are able to kind of relate to that, because somehow or the other you know such people in your own lives. So that is what makes you even more invested in the story. Before moving on, I would like to say that please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also press the bell icon. And if you want more bookish updates from me, you can also follow me on Instagram. My handle is @thatdesibooklover. The next book is The Legend of Lakshmi Prasad by Twinkle Khanna. So this is a collection of 4 stories, and out of the 3 books written by Twinkle Khanna, this is easily my favorite. This is one gem of a book and should not be missed out by anybody, I believe. So out of the 4 stories, 3 are directly about women and the 4th one is indirectly about women. So the first 3 stories have female protagonists, and the 4th story has a male protagonist who wants to manufacture sanitary napkins that can be made available to women at cheaper prices. So the 4th story is actually the one on which the movie Padman is based. So all the 4 stories have really normal, ordinary people as their main characters, and that is why these stories instantly make a place in your heart, because they have been written with such simplicity and tenderness that they are very, very moving to read. The next book is Love Story by Eric Segal. Now, if you love romance books, then it is a crime if you haven't read this one. Love Story by Eric Segal is easily one of those books that has inspired many other authors to write their own love stories and romance books, because this was the first of its kind. In fact, I think if you read it in today's time, it's going to be sort of cliched, but the way this book has been written is the real winner. The back cover of this book practically gives out the story. Opposites attract, they get married, then something bad happens. But this book is worth reading for the way it has been written, which is absolutely brilliant. even a simple predictable sort of a story can turn out to be a beautiful reading experience if it has been written marvelously, which is the case with this book. It is simple to read, it is going to touch your heart, it is going to make you cry, and you will not forget this story. The next book is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So this one is a classic, and if you are looking to read an easy classic book, then this is the one that you should definitely go for, because not only is this book one of the easiest classics I've ever read, but it is also delightful to read. It is going to make you smile. So this story is taking place in America during the time when Civil War was happening there. This is a story about 4 March sisters: Meg, Jo, Beth and Amy. So all these 4 sisters are completely different from each other. So each one of these sisters bring their own flavor to the story, which makes the story a very wholesome reading experience. Little Women is basically a story about the lives of these 4 sisters, their challenges, their happinesses. It is going to cheer you up, especially when you are sad. It has that power, and this is the kind of book that is going to fill your heart with warmth, and it is going to make you happy. The next one is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. So if you are looking to read poetry that is both easy and moving, then you should definitely consider picking this one up. I love this book so much. The topics in this book are extremely relevant, and the poetry in this book does its job effortlessly. It makes you feel things, and this book contains poems on topics that will be relevant to every young woman out there, I believe, and these poems have been written beautifully. The book has been divided into 5 parts: wilting, falling, rooting, rising, blooming, and all the parts are extremely moving to read, and that is why I recommend this book to you if you haven't picked it up already. The next book is Jazmin Days by Benyamin, translated from Malayalam to English by Shehnaz Habib. So this story is taking place in an unnamed Middle Eastern city. So this is a story about a girl named Samira Parveen who works as a radio jockey in the city, and she lives with her father and his extended family, and everything in her life is normal, but things start to change when rebellion hits her country, and this rebellion finally reaches the city that she lives in, and then obviously things change for the worse in her life. So Jazmin Days is the kind of book that calls you back when you are not reading it. Jazmin Days is a story that is going to horrify you, it is going to make you smile, it is going to make you cry. So many emotions in just one single book. The next book is Delhi is Not Far by Ruskin Bond. So this story is taking place in a small town called People Nagar, and the protagonist of the story is a man named Arun, who is the writer of detective Urdu novels. Arun keeps waiting for inspiration to strike him so that he can pen down a blockbuster, but that just doesn't happen. The life in People Nagar is not sad, but it's not happy either. The residents and inhabitants have their aspirations that they want to go to Delhi and start their businesses, but nobody seems to do that. People just talk about their aspirations, and that's about it. So this story is about Arun's experiences as he interacts with different inhabitants of People Nagar. The main theme of this novella lies in the title of the book, Delhi is Not Far, where Delhi serves as a metaphor for your destination. That your destination is not far, you just have to make a start. This is the kind of book that has a very nostalgic and old world feel to it, like a lot of other Ruskin Bond books. The next book is 3000 Stitches by Sudha Murthy. So this is a collection of 11 stories that are based on true events. So this book is non-fiction. So that is a double advantage for you if you are looking to read a non-fiction book that is easy to read and also not boring at all, because this book is extremely easy and accessible to practically anybody, and also the stories are so inspiring and moving that you will fly through this book and you will thank yourself for picking this one up, because these stories give such important and beautiful life lessons. These stories talk about being kind, they talk about working hard and not giving up, and how much difference can that make in your own life, in somebody else's life. The entire intention behind this book is so noble that it makes my heart full, and if you haven't read this book, there is no way that you should miss out on this. I loved every story in this book, but there are a few stories in this book that I loved more than the others. So overall, I'll say 3000 Stitches by Sudha Murthy should be a book that should make it to your TBR right now. The next book is The Happy Fruit Adventures by Hari Ram Narayanan. So this is a story in which two 19-year-old boys set out on a journey in a jungle called life in order to reach a mountain called Mountain Goal, because on that mountain grows a fruit called happiness fruit, which these boys wish to acquire. So through their journey, they face a lot of challenges, they meet a lot of different characters, and they also have to face this outcast villain who is hell-bent on destroying the jungle. So this is a very straightforward, a black and white kind of a story, but the reason for my recommending this in today's video is that it is extremely easy to read. It's a very sweet story. Even if you know what is going to happen, you will enjoy reading it. So this is one of those books that you can definitely consider as an option if you want to get a child in your family to read something, because this is a book that teaches a lot of lessons and values. So that was it. These were my 10 recommendations for you. If you want to get your hands on any of these books, then please consider getting them from my Amazon affiliate links, because that would support my channel and I would appreciate that. And also do not forget to check out Campfire Pro from the link in the description box, especially if you're looking to write your first or your next book. So that was it for today's video. If you want to connect with me on my social media, the links are in the description box. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.